You were born at some point. I wasn't. I was personally created in a lab I escaped from back in 1984, but you were born. And depending on when you were born, there can be some pretty stark differences between you and, other people born years before. So today, we're actually going to be interviewing one person who was born in 2008 and another who was born in 1962. And we're going to compare and contrast answers to certain questions and see how their worldviews might change.
Hello, my name is Douglas. I was born in 2008 and I'm in 11th grade.
Hi, my name is Mr. Peck. I'm a social studies teacher here at Parkview High School. Before that, I was an Army officer for about 28 years. I was born in 1962, so I'm at the end of the boomers. I am a boomer.
Who was your biggest inspiration growing up?
My dad. My dad was my biggest inspiration. He grew up in the Depression, put himself through college mostly on scholarships, and then became a very important scientist in the field of geology.
It's more like of a what. I think I took most of my motivation and inspiration off of my own jealousy. I like to be better than everybody, and so that was kind of my going forward factor.
What sort of hobbies do you participate in?
Okay, so I like to hike, I like to bike. I am a terribly not gifted golfer, but I love to play golf. I'm not good at it, but I enjoy it. My wife and I like to travel. I've been to 42 countries so far. I like to go around and see things and meet people and try different things and different foods. So I really like meeting people and being part of the world.
I play tennis and I do a lot of photography.
What kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to lots of different kinds of music. If you go by my room, you might hear jazz, you might hear 70s rock or 80s rock, you might hear a lot of Count Basie, John Coltrane. I love jazz, but you could also hear classical guitar because, Dr. Loncar's had a big influence on me. I love classical guitar, so you just never know. I like lots of different kinds of music.
What music do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of rap, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Stereotypical, but yeah.
Okay. What celebrity do you think had or has the most cultural influence?
Wow, in what era? Because that would make a big difference. If we're talking 50s, 60s, we're talking,
For you, which one
for me,
what's one youth in a certain direction?
Elvis. Elvis changed America.
I want to say Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, he played Iron Man. He's been in so many different movies, and he's a lot of people's favorite actor. So.
As a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Okay, this is going to shock you. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a teacher, and I wanted to teach history.
Oh wow.
And I even joined the Army knowing that after I retired from the Army that I would want to teach. So I got a bachelor's degree in education, and after I retired from the Army, I became a teacher.
As a child, I was in that kind of delusion where I thought that I could go pro in so many different things. And so for a while, I wanted to go pro in basketball, and then I quit on that. So.
What do you want to be when you grow up now?
I would like to be a freelance travel the world photographer.
Where did you spend most of your free time when you were younger?
Okay, so when I was younger, my dad was a geologist, so we lived in national parks all summer, every summer. So I grew up hiking and backpacking and climbing and being in Yosemite National Park and Hawaii National Park, which is where we spent pretty much every summer of our youth. I was also a roller rink guard at the Dominion Roller Rink right off Church Street back when it was a thing.
Probably outside. I used to bike around a lot. I didn't play a lot of video games. I didn't watch a lot of shows. I didn't have a phone until I was 13, and so I spent a lot of time outside.
When did you feel the need to grow up, or when do you feel like you stopped being a kid?
I had to grow up, and I stopped being a kid when I joined the Army. I enlisted in the Army at 18, right out of high school, and I enlisted for what I thought would be a one-tour adventure as a paratrooper. And 28 years, 8 months, and 14 days later, I retired from the Army. And in the Army, you immediately have to be an adult because you're responsible not only for your life, but the life of your team members and the things that you do If you do them inconsequently, if you do not take it seriously, that could cost a life. So you have to take what you do very, very seriously because you're dealing with people's lives.
Probably going into 8th grade is when I started caring about what other people like thought of it, about me, and so I kind of took into account like what I wore and how I acted around other people, and I kind of started caring more about other people's feelings.
Who do you think the other person's biggest inspiration was growing up?
President Obama.
I have no idea what the inspirations back then were. I don't know. I can't answer that.
That's fine. What kind of hobbies do you think the other generation participates in?
Minecraft. I think the hobbies of a lot of my students is Minecraft and gaming.
I say reading books, reading books, yeah.
What kind of music do you think the other generation listens to?
Oh, okay. So what I hear a lot of Bad Bunny from you guys. I hear a lot of Taylor Swift, a lot of Swifties out here. I hear a lot of reggaeton and things like that. I am expanding my music listening because I hear all these kinds of different music from everybody. One thing I became very attracted to is Arabic rock. And a lot of my students listen to Arabic rock. I listened to a lot of it when I was deployed to the Middle East, and I'm enjoying getting to know a lot of the more different kinds of cultural musics.
I feel like they would have listened to a lot of rock or almost jazz, I want to say.
What do you think the other generation wanted to be when they grew up?
For the current generation, I see a lot of people interested in web design and more IT kind of career fields, maybe using AI in new and different ways to make life better, not only for yourselves, but for others. So I see a lot more focus on using that technology to enhance life.
It's a really broad question. I want to say an astronaut, because
I was gonna say. I feel like because I think the moon landing was like super.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I think that's like the cool thing that was.
He would have gotten to watch the moon. What celebrity do you think the other generation think has the most cultural influence?
Yeah,
Michael Jackson.
I feel like the Beatles maybe. I know that was a big thing. Yeah.
Okay, that's actually a good answer. Where do you think the other generation spent most of their free time when they were younger?
Online. I see you guys. I'm afraid you guys are online. You're not outside enough. In my age, we came home from school, we got a snack, and then we were outside until the streetlights came on. Yep. We were not allowed back in the house until the streetlights came on. So I'm not sure, what you guys are doing. My kids were really active in various youth activities, scouting, and other programs, so they were busy doing that. But I don't know if that's the thing for most kids. Maybe because I was a single dad and I had 2 boys, I pushed them into things like that.
I don't know. I feel like there's not a lot of other things to do, Like there's not any screens. It's not like I don't know how big television was back then. Like I'm just guessing, I'm just throwing it out there. So.
When do you think the other generation felt the need to grow up / when they stopped being a kid? Earlier or later?
Mid-20s.
Really?
Mid-20s. Because in your mid-20s, you finally leave home and you actually have to pay bills and you actually have to, pay your health insurance and you have to pay your rent and your utilities. And for some of you, for most of the people, pay off student loans. So if I look at my kids who are 28 and 34, adulthood, buying a car, paying car insurance, paying maintenance, that's how all happens in your mid-20s, usually.
I want to say it really depends on the person, but I feel like for most people, childhood kind of ends when you start caring about other people. And so it's like, I feel like maybe going into high school is when they started.
As you can see, the generations did view each other differently. They also saw themselves in a light that maybe you weren't expecting. But I think this opens the door for a conversation about how generational divides don't necessarily have to mean that we can't relate on certain topics. We're all human at the end of the day, and even if we were born what feels like worlds apart, we can still come together for important causes and to make change in the world. So yeah, one person might have been born in 1962 and one in 2008, but they're people.